Help.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Comic Book Curation. I'm Polly, and joining me, as always, is Inquisitor. Quiz.
There it is.
How you doing, Quiz?
I'm doing okay. How about you, bud?
I'm here, man. I'm here.
You sound extremely medicated, and given the fact that you were up until like 9 o'clock in the morning this morning, which is extremely late for you, I'm not shocked that you're out of sorts.
You never mind how much I'm not sleeping, okay? And rounding out our triumvirate of once awesome is Jack from Bad Comic Reviews. Jack, how are you doing in our downward slide into nothingness?
I appear to be doing better than you.
Cool.
Hope you're feeling better soon.
Oh, hey, you know what? Why don't I just go ahead and put the chat capture over here where the chat capture goes?
Yeah.
Instead of that
Hey, weren't we supposed to have a guest today who's in the chat?
Yeah, that was supposed to be Sinatra Says, but I already talked to Sin over on DMs. And I told him we're doing a short show because I'm feeling rather sick today. And he was like, yeah, that's cool. Because I said, I want to have him on when we're doing a full show. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine how disrespectful that would be to be like, Sinatra, come on. Okay, we're closing early. Get out. Like, that's that's not cool. So welcome to everyone who's here. Angela, Sad Boy, Rich, Ryan Walters, Amanda Wolfchild, Sinatra, the aforementioned, and everyone else. And I apologize for the low quality of our show. But then again, you watch us, so you know what to expect.
Yeah, it's about the same.
Yeah.
Six is here. Yeah, we got the whole crew.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the thumbnail today is that's the thumbnail. Look how incredibly out of proportion it is. You know, it's not even close to the center of the screen. You know why? Because I don't know what I'm doing. That's why. Oh, wait a minute. That's not the right button. No, that's not the right button. Oh, that's not the right button. Ah, fuck it. There it is. Look, it's fucking Phoenix, Rachel Summers. Yay. Okay, enough of that. And the reason why is because I've been reading a lot of Excalibur lately. The original Excalibur, not that crappy one that just used the name. And yeah. Sinatra's taking the time and going to bed early. All right, Sin, have a good night. Sleep well.
Have a go, man.
Yep. Take care, man.
So yeah, I've been reading a lot of Excalibur lately, so I thought I'd put Rachel Summers' Phoenix here on the thumbnail, even though I couldn't get it centered. But, you know, who cares?
That's a cool image.
It is. It's her all flaming. She's wearing, as I'm sure, well, Quiz didn't see, but that doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck? She's wearing the original
I see.
Phoenix outfit.
I see what I am to you, Polly. I see what I am to you.
No. Well, no, it's just I could have went through the trouble so you guys could see things in real time, but that would require me to be a professional, and everyone here knows I'm not. So what does it matter? Yeah, you know, but here's what I'm thinking of doing. I read my way up to Excalibur 61 because then a completely different story arc takes off as of 62. And having read my way up to that, I'm thinking of going back to Rachel Summers' introduction in the original Uncanny X-Men and reading my way through that.
Oh, you should.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, back when she was a hunter, right? Not actually part of Excalibur.
Exactly. Yeah, long before Excalibur. Yeah, like a good 5 years before Excalibur. Well, shit, I think even longer than that. What was Rachel Summers' first appearance in like X-Men like 161 or something like that?
Well, make sure you read X-Men Alpha Flight as well, because there's part of her story arc in there with when Scott's dating Madeline Pryor.
In Alpha Flight, really?
No, it was a crossover 2-issue miniseries.
Oh,
X-Men
shit.
Alpha Flight.
Okay, I'm going to look into that. I'm going to make a little note for myself and look into that. That's cool. So yeah, the formerly Rodline says Psylocke pre-slut makeover. Damn.
Hey, she got a lot hotter when she became Asian.
Well, you got to give him.
Of course, you'd say that, Jack.
But you got to give him credit because, in case she had Psylocke when she was, remember, in her pink flowing blouse as Psylocke, remember?
Yep.
with the butterflies and shit, and then she had the Asian body switch, and then separated them again. I like her new character design. Her as a female Captain Britain. I think she looks pretty slick.
I like Brian Braddock better as Captain Britain.
Well, who doesn't? But it's 2020 Marvel, man. You take what you can get.
No, it's garbage. Not spending my money on it.
It's my way or the highway.
That's right. They will give in to my demands of quality.
And since we're talking about garbage and taking what you can get, I don't remember if we talked about this before because, I drink and pop pills. So let's take a look at this image right here because it's very telling. I remember this from back in the day, from reading it way back in the day, and I had to hunt around to find it. So this is over in Mojo's Mojoverse, and he's trying to remember we started talking about the X babies?
Uh-huh.
And I had a flashback to remember something that happened in the X babies. They were created by Mojo in his verse which is like what, a giant television universe. It's weird. It's all dedicated by entertainment and such.
Yeah, it's somewhat prophetic because who was the original creator of Mojo? Was it Chris Claremont?
I think so.
He created Mojo specifically because, it inadvertently became what we all know as reality television. But what it was is that he would do like live broadcasts of gladiatorial combat.
Yes. And wanting these different groups to fight against each other, he goes through the iteration of Gangster X-Men and then the X-Babies, but they ended up escaping. This was the second iteration that he was trying. Look at this. You see it on your screen? How about this variation on a classic theme?
Whammon X-Men.
In other words, it's Children of the Atom, done decades prior. And what is Mojo's reaction? Too predictable. Doesn't sing, doesn't dance, doesn't fly. Dump them. And they fall. See, I was right. And they all fall to their death. They don't even fall nice. Next. Like, seriously, this whole gender flip for comic book characters, back in the day, this was a ridiculous joke. It was a single panel joke. You don't do it seriously.
Remember that issue I showed you ages ago with Wolver Broad?
Yeah.
Yeah, they took that and made X-23, apparently. So, yeah, it was a joke, literally and figuratively, back then. And now it's like, oh, it's so unique and original. No, you're just dumb.
Well, they've taken a completely different tack on it. They're saying that it's women empowerment. It's empowering women to do this. And if anything, women are going to look at that and feel insulted.
They should.
Yes.
Because for those of you who don't know, like, excuse me, Children of the Atom is just literally what you're seeing on your screen right now. It's taking the X-Men and gender and race flipping them and pretending they're new characters. Well, mentees of the older mentor X-Men that are guiding them. And that's the best they could come up with. I really believe this. I could take this panel and like it's kind of newsprint. You could tell it's got like the dots and everything, right? The inking, right? But I could take this and smooth it out in Photoshop, remove all of the too predictable. You're damn right it's too predictable, Mojo. Sure, you're a horrible, nightmarish demon from another world who tortures people for no good reason except your own satisfaction. But on this case, you're right.
Well, and the satisfaction of the audience.
Yes. Watching them die horribly in a gladiatorial ring.
Mm-hmm.
But I could take this picture and smooth it out and make it look good and then put it up online and say, now this is woke. This is the direction Marvel should be going in. I'd probably get thousands of likes and retweets, and this is the most awesome thing ever. Who doesn't want Magneta and Havokita and Wolverina and Nightcrawlerina. You know?
I was gonna say, is this what happened to X-22?
Probably.
Fell to her death
Uh,
in the Mojoverse.
You mean X-23?
No, X-22. Because X-22 comes before 23.
Oh, I see what you're saying. That's what, yeah. Leave me alone. I'm medicated. I love that they fall to their death. And he's like, they don't even fall. I love this.
Yep.
Yeah. Yesterday's farcical single panel joke becomes the business model of Marvel. That's where we're at, folks.
Yeah. I'll say, you know what you should do, Polly? And I recommend every single person that's watching this, all right, if you have a Twitter account, pay attention every single time that you see any, modern comic book pro do a replacement theory and make them women, like if there ever is a new thing, well, like Children of the Atom, or like Femme Thor, when that happens, have this panel ready to go. And then when they announce it, everyone just spam this panel at the announcement.
Yeah, I'm going to tweet this out after the show's over. This is Marvel. What was once a joke is now a business model. What?
Yeah, everyone needs to save that on their phone. And then, whenever you see that on modern releases, spam it.
Isn't it weird when you've been reading comics long enough that it like turns you into a cynical son of a bitch because you're like, this was already done. This was terrible. It was a joke.
Well, they lack originality and they're not very creative for the most part. I mean, DC's on the path to doing the same thing with 5G.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, and I've got the story that you sent me about 5G, so we'll do that right next. But Frank, thank you very much for the $3 donation. When will the staff shirts be available? That's a good question. For Noir Bar, he's asking about soon. I got to set up a Teespring store, so I got to hit up Far because she's already done that and she knows what's going on. And Monkey, I see he's in chat. I got to pick his brain a little bit about the best way to go about doing that. But the designs are on the go, man. They're looking good. And Jack, I took your suggestion of like making them like staff shirts by putting staff on the back or the sleeve. That was a good. That was a good idea. So,
and if you're dyslexic, it's fats. Fats.
Well, it would be hats.
Yeah.
Have you seen the designs, Jack? They're pretty slick.
Yeah, you showed them to me a while ago. They look pretty good when you were working on them.
Yeah, all right. So cool. Fine. Nothing's new for you then. Let's see. Article.
I haven't.
All right. No, wait a minute. I tweeted them to you. Remember you talked about it.
I don't remember this.
Are you messing with me?
No, I'm not.
Because you could convince me of a whole lot right now. So, all right. Anyway, moving on. Let's go on to that story that Jack just mentioned about the G5. Here we are. Critical capture. Here we are. Bleeding Fool. The joke's on you. DC Comics G5 is Phantom Zone bound.
Good.
The narrative of G5 has been announced.
Have announced been.
Yes. God, that printing is smaller than the side of a bottle of cold medication. Shit. There we go. All right. Stop bouncing around. Goddamn water fox. Okay. DC presents Generation 1, Age of Mysteries. The charge towards DC's future conditions continues. Series of 5 one-shot comics spotlight DC's superhero heritage while revealing secrets that will shape its future. God, is this their corporate blurb, man? Is that what I'm reading?
Yeah, this is the press release.
Okay.
Yeah.
Burbank, California, February 13, 2020. The path to DC's future continues to unfold in Generation 1, Age of Mysteries. On sale, blah, blah, blah. The Generation series of specials are built to bring the new DC timeline to life, said DC publisher Dan DiDio. With Generation 1, Age of Mysteries, and every subsequent volume will be shining a spotlight on the 80-plus year publishing history of the DC universe, while charting the course for the bright new future of DC characters. Really? Do you think they're going to continue to rip off old pulp characters like they did in the past?
No, they're redoing the timeline. That's
Ah.
what this is.
All of our... They haven't done that before. New 52, Crisis on Infinite
Oh, yeah.
Earths.
Well, remember, Dan Didio was behind New 52.
Mm-hmm.
So he's redoing it again because he's like, you didn't like it the first time and you were wrong, so we're going to do it again.
Fair enough. The Generation series, hold on. The Generation series of specials are built to bring... I already read that. All of our greatest stories and events will create the backdrop and context for the great new adventures we have planned. Everything counts, and we guarantee there'll be surprises along the way. Readers of Generation 1, Age of Mystery, stop saying that! Will witness firsthand major events throughout the history of the DC Universe as seen through the eyes of characters like Wonder Woman, Lucius Fox, Alfred Pennyworth, Green Lantern, Alan Scott, The Spectre, Jim Corrigan, Mr. Terrific, Terry Sloan, and others. The series of one-shots will also expose secrets from DC's history, such as what was the previously undocumented Big Bang of the Age of Mysteries? What character truly ushers in the dawn of superheroes, inspiring all the rest? What was the real reason behind the Justice Society of America's retirement? Well, Frank Miller already covered that. Superman turned into a traitor and forced them all into retirement. Well,
They've covered it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which Golden Age hero will become history's greatest villain? What contentious alliance between the Wayne family dynasty alive after Thomas and Martha's deaths? The Court of Owls. Anyway.
No, we're rewriting history.
Right.
You're not listening.
It's gonna be like the Cobblepots. You know it's gonna be.
Yeah. These 5 books will have all the answers to these questions, setting up DC's boldest storylines ever while laying the groundwork for more excitement to come. The 5 Generation issues will feature who's who of creative talent with an overarching story by, oh God, Brian Michael Bendis.
Yep. That should be your first red flag.
Right? Generation 1, Age of Mysteries, because we haven't said that enough, is scripted by Andy Schmidt, with lead art by Douglas Mankey. Each of DC's Generation 1 shots will feature a cover by Jim Chung, a variant cover by Gary Frank. Generation 2, The Age of... Okay, enough shit. Yeah, and then about DC. DC is one of the largest English blah, blah, we're awesome. Okay, so there it is. What are you thinking there, Jack?
I think this is going to be a complete shit show.
Really?
Yeah. From what the rumors are, and if that's true, which I totally do believe at this point, Wonder Woman is going to be who sets off the Age of Heroes, not Superman like it always was before. So they're converging all the previous timelines and rewriting it, because originally when they had Wonder Woman in the JSA, they altered it so that it was actually Hippolyta using the name Wonder Woman. So it was Wonder Woman's mom.
Yeah.
And then when World War II ended, they, when the heroes went away, they had an excuse why those old issues had Wonder Woman in it. Then they were like, that doesn't really work because Superman and Batman were floating around in those issues. So they made that Earth 2. And they're like, okay, that's just a separate universe altogether.
Right.
And then they rewrote that again in that the Justice Society did exist, but they retired under threat of revealing who they were. And they just all retired. It was called Last Days of the Justice Society. And then they rewrote that again later on to say that they got sucked into a never-ending battle world where they constantly had to fight these old gods to keep them from invading into our world. And they brought them back in with Wave Rider. And that was in the 90s, I think. So, yeah, they've done this sort of like soft reboots several times, but this time they're just tinkering with everything. And by the time these one-shots are all done and all the miniseries are tied up, we're going to have replaced Diana, Superman, and Batman. They'll all have retired, and we'll have 3 new characters in there. Because that's apparently what the reference in Doomsday Clock was to the 1984 universe. That was when these heroes were most active, and all their replacements are active now. So
the question is though, is that like is DC stupid? I mean, they made a comic series. I have all 30 something issues, and it was a great series. I remember reading it quite a lot. It was in the New 52. It was very short lived, but it was called Trinity, and it was several stories about Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, because that's known as the DC Trinity.
Yeah.
Thank you, Next 6 Minutes, for the donation over on the Streamlabs. For great victory and glorious potato, may the future of Polly's computing be bright and kick all of the ass. Fist bumps for quiz and back comic reviews as well. For glorious potato, feel better, bro. Thank you, Six. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Six.
Yeah, Six is a good dude. If you guys aren't subscribed to him, check out his channel.
Yeah.
We should bring Six on. That'd be fun. I don't know if does he read comics or graphic novels, anything? Ask him.
He should. But yeah, I really think that they are trying hard to do a big diversity replacement like Marvel did a few years ago as a Hail Mary to keep the company going, because with the AT&T acquisition, their jobs are all on the line, and Dan Didio has zero new ideas. He has done nothing but fuck up for the last 10 years. Like he finally will stumble on a good idea and he'll be like, oh, people like that? Oh, fuck you. No, let's destroy it. So, and he hates legacy characters with a passion, from what I can tell. That's why they screwed Wally West. Oh, sorry, what were you saying, Quiz?
No, it was Polly.
Oh, sorry.
I said seems like when you said he hates legacy characters. It seems like that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look what they did to Wally West, and they're not fixing it either. He's still going to be written out. They're turning him into a cross between the Flash and Dr. Manhattan in this new issue of Flash Forward that just came out. And apparently that's what's setting off a lot of these events. So once again, the Flash is getting hosed. And Wally West had more adventures than Barry Allen did as the Flash. So
Yes,
there's an entire generation out there, at least one, which would be my generation most likely, that grew up with Wally West as the Flash.
Yes.
I started reading right around the point of Crisis with the Flash, and Barry Allen died, and the next launch was the Flash book. And that was one of my favorite books for a long time from DC. And I was pissed when they rebooted it and we got some diversity hire blackface Wally West. Because that's not Wally West. That's some other guy that should have been named something else.
Yep.
But they did that with a lot of characters, and Dan Didio was like, fuck you. No, I'm not getting rid of these characters. So he's just doubling down. We're going to have Black Batman with Luke Fox instead of Nightwing, because fuck those legacy characters. You don't like it? Too bad. You're a fucking bigot. Dan Didio doesn't listen to anyone, and he's going to get DC destroyed at this rate.
It's the desperation of like trying to create a hype in all the wrong ways. Like, we're going to reboot everything, and that's going to bring in all these young readers. And it's like, wait a minute. If people who are buying comics come in to buy comics, like they regularly, they have pull lists and everything, right? They come in and everything's changed, and it's like, how did you advertise to these new readers? Did you hit them up on Instagram or any of the digital ways of promoting things, or did you anything? No, they just.
It looks like they just came up with this in an office and didn't test it at all. Like, they didn't think through the consequences. Like, if they really wanted to move everything ahead several years, they have continuity for that. Instead of Bruce Wayne, you could have had either Nightwing, Tim Drake, or even Terry McGinnis, from Batman Beyond. Is that his name? Terry McGinnis?
Terry McGinnis, yeah.
Yeah. Have him be Batman. At least there's already a replacement in place for that.
All three of those characters have been Batman.
I say bring in old drunk Thomas Wayne Batman.
Well, they kill him off in The Button, like permanently. Thomas Wayne is gone.
Oh no, Tom King had him back in City of Bane.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, because he was the real villain.
Oh, because in the button, Thomas Wayne is able to actually interact with Bruce, and then the rest of the Flashpoint universe crumbles, and that's when original Wally West,
Real
uh,
Wally West.
yeah, comes into the Rebirth universe, and then they proceed to fuck him up with everything that they do. But
formerly Rodline says, the reboots never passed the initial hype. Amen. Yeah, you're not wrong. Like all Ultimates, like and separate imprints work because we're going to do some different things over here. That's possible to bring in new readers. But I mean, we talked about it on last week's show and the show before that. Like, you guys missed the gravy train with the DCEU and the MCU. You should have run amok with that shit. But instead, no, it's a chance to promote. Oh God, all the bullshit that we can. Because like, if we do first this and first that, first LGBT hero in the form of America Chavez, and we do all these gender and race swaps with people and tokenize the fuck out of the entire team, then the New York Times and the Washington Post and everybody else and the Hollywood Reporter are willing to write up stories. Otherwise, it's like, well, we're rebooting all of our characters to bring in new readers. All the reporters are going to be, yawn, what's new about that? Well, a whole bunch of them are gay. Oh shit, let me get out my pen. Like, that's... Anyway, Speaking of old crotchety losers that are way the fuck out of touch, Mark Waid named Humanoid's publisher. Exclusive.
It's an exclusive? Is it an exclusive from CBR?
No, it's an exclusive from the Hollywood Reporter.
Oh.
The veteran comic book writer and miserable bastard will pen a new INCAL story for the company's free comic book day release this month.
Hang on, real quick. Look at that image of Mark Waid and tell me he doesn't look like he wants to talk to your manager.
Oh yeah. He wants to judge the shit out of you and your lifestyle.
He looks like he's trying to be oh God, who's that one dude from Happy Days?
The Fonz?
No, the other one. The
Richie
main character.
Cunningham?
Yeah, Richie. Who's the actor?
Ron
Howard. Yeah, he looks like he's trying to be Ron Howard.
You know what I find entertaining about this picture? Look at this slim, wistful, gossamer amount of hair floating above the top of his head.
Yeah.
That's part of his halo, Polly. That's his halo.
That's his didn't do nothing halo.
Just trim that shit off, you pathetic bastard.
Yeah. Okay, pro tip for bald guys. All right, look, if you're going to have some hair on top of your head, make sure it's at least as short as the hair on the side of your head.
True.
So it looks symmetrical.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my God. It looks like he's got a full head of hair. Yeah, right.
No, it's what? Invisible hair? Like, is that the invisible jet of the hairlines?
Humanoids, the iconic publisher behind Metal Harlot and some of the most important European comics of the 20th century, is continuing to push into the U.S. market with the announcement that the industry veteran Mark Waid has been named the company's new publisher. Oh, it looks like Ignited isn't doing that well. Who would have guessed? Marketing and sales, as well as new inroads with retailers and librarians. Fabrice Geiger founded Humanoids in Los Angeles in 1998 with the goal of introducing American readers to the European masterworks of creators by and Mobius and and these classics remain the foundation of Humanoids. Waid said in a statement from the publisher, quote, "As we look into the future, Humanoids Publishing slate will honor the legacy of those iconic books while continuing to innovate and experiment with new publishing initiatives like Life Drawn, Big, and H1. Okay.
I have no idea what any of that is.
Yeah.
H1 is the imprint where Ignited and Strange Lands and Omni are being published.
Cracked ass, doesn't Waid live in Southern California? Yeah, extremely rich area, Southern California. But, he speaks on behalf of the LGMMPOCs, Bs, pluses.
The Ligbut.
Yeah.
Ligbut pox.
Yes. Geiger, now Humanoid CEO, added, with his passion for publishing, respect for the medium's past, attention to today's political and cultural landscapes. Ha! There's a euphemism, huh? And a keen eye for spotting talent. Mark Waid is perfectly. Hold on.
He's a keen eye for spotting talent. You know, that guy over there with the tire iron, he'll break your fucking legs, especially if you publish a book around town here. Yeah, your publishing business is gonna suffer, if you know what I mean.
You're doing this wrong.
A keen eye for spotting talent. Remember, this is the guy who couldn't wait to work with Kwanzaa. Great talent.
Yeah.
Look, I think we're looking at this all wrong. Mark Waid is the sheriff of comics. He can tell if you're holding a comic from 100 yards away. He'll be like, that dude's holding. Let's go talk to him about what he's got. Oh, Superman? I don't think so. Here's an Ignited. Oh, no, Wonder Woman? No, here's an issue of Black. Now move along and re-educate yourself.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of funny that he's got a book called Ignited when he is in the process of self-immolating.
Well, you know, look, he can't help that he was born an evil whitey. So he's just trying to do his part to do reparations.
Gotcha.
As it were.
Gotcha.
Wade assumes the publisher position as Humanoids prepares to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Incel, the critically acclaimed collaboration between Alandro and Mobius, with a number of publications, including an oversized hardcover career retrospective, the 7 lines of Al. Yeah, I know. I don't care. I don't care. The 7 Lives of Aslandro Zergask from Vincent Bergner and Nicholas Telop. A re-release of The Incel for an introduction from Brian Michael Bendis. Available in a limited edition comic store edition and a mass market edition. And We Are Humanoids, featuring The Incel, the company's free comic book day release, which will feature an all-new Incel story by Wade and artist Stéphane Roux. Additionally, Humanoids is planning a new edition of Jean-Claude Van Damme's original Barbella comics with a translation from Bitch Planet's Kelly Sue DeConnick. Motherfucker.
See, this is the cool kids club, Polly. You're not allowed. No boys allowed.
It so is. Kelly Sue DeConnick. She's Typhoid Mary. She ruins everything she touches. Nobody likes her stuff except for other people in the industry that think they're woke for talking to her.
Yeah, she's a pretentious T-Watt. Look, on the upside, if it's a straight translation, that could be good because Barbarella is a very popular comic in Europe, and it's not really ever made its way over here. So this could actually be interesting for old school comic readers that want to see some of those classics that are completely unaffordable by us, because you'd have to find a translated edition. It's going to cost you a fortune. So if it's a straight translation without any woke nonsense inserted, that could be good. So I'm not willing to judge that one just yet.
Are you kidding me though? If Kelly Sue DeConnick like smells that Barbarella is in the same building, do you honestly think that her ovaries wouldn't be twitching immediately at the fact that there's something that's going to be exploitation of women like Barbarella? Do you honestly think that?
Barbarella was a very sexually open progressive chick in the original stories.
Yeah. But remember, feminists are the modern Puritans. They're extremely sex negative.
Well, look at this though. It's like Jean-Claude Van Damme's Barbarella, adapted by Kelly Sue DeConnick, and the little blurb on the cover, which I really wish they would stop doing these. Right on the cover, it ruins it.
Yeah, it distracts you from the art.
The comics version of Barbarella resonates as an early example of the fully empowered female comics protagonist.
Well,
Gee,
what? There's not much she can do with this, because if she strays too far from the original, they're in violation of the licensing agreement that Dynamite has, because they have the license for Barbarella. So to do original work is over Dynamite. They can't do that. So it has to be as close to the original as possible. Otherwise, Dynamite will sue the bejesus out of them.
Oh, good. I'm hoping Dynamite does.
Yeah, so I'm okay with seeing how this one comes out. If it gets too woke, that's another thing.
And then
But,
here's this one. We Are Humanoids, featuring The Incel, original story by Mark Waid and Stefan Roux.
Yeah, this is the stuff you got to worry about.
Well, it's just this. What does this whole article break down to? Promote.
Yeah, it's shilling. They probably paid to have this article in there, but
amen. Like look at all like the photography that they released. They gave him a full press packet to be able to write off of. This is just shill in the extreme. That's why it's an exclusive to the Hollywood Reporter. Like, goddamn, Mark Waid, you are a fucking industry company guy. All the way.
Absolutely. But some of the stuff they're reprinting is stuff that's never been translated over here. A lot of the Mobius stuff, the Alejandro something French, a lot of that stuff has never made its way over here and has been very hard for comic readers to get. So this could actually be good for diehard comic readers.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Mobius is the man. Like,
Mobius is great.
Yeah,
he's a great artist. You know what I think is the fact that the only thing that's going through my mind is who the fuck that reads the Hollywood Reporter reads comics?
Nobody. That's why this is kind of buried in there. Also, I think your boy Zach, he did cover this article briefly, and I disagree with some what he said, but I think he's right that they are consolidating the humanoids offices over there in California and shrinking staff, so they can do a lot more stuff from like home or whatever. And so, because they're losing money hand over fist on the humanoids line, but bringing over a bunch of stuff that's never been translated or has very limited release in the US, and bringing that in, like Mobius's work, that's a really good idea and will probably save the company. So it'll give Mark more time to work out his weird terrorist book with Ignited.
Right.
So I think this could be a mixed bag. For the diehard sequential art fans, the Mobius stuff will be fucking awesome. Barbarella stuff could be good because it's rarely been translated, so that could be interesting. But it means that Mark Waid's going to continue to churn out the same garbage with this stupid H1 universe.
Yeah.
But I think this is really a sign that the company's struggling over here.
I'm perfectly comfortable, sticking with my principles here. And even if I'm interested in the Mobius books, I won't buy them. I'll read them, but I won't buy them.
Yeah. I might pick up a couple of them just because there's a lot of Mobius stuff that I've never been able to read.
Well,
I refuse to give Kelly Sue DeConnick or Mark Waid like a penny.
Oh, yeah. Especially Kelly Sue DeConnick. You bitter, angry woman. Do you even like comics? You use it as a medium to promote your anger and nurture that chip on your shoulder.
Look, Polly, she has to feed those cats somehow. They come around and she's like, "Oh, my precious little fur babies," and then they eat the food and run off before she can grab one. She's like Normal from Animaniacs.
I thought Normal was from Garfield.
No,
Garfield.
Not Normal. Yeah. What the fuck was that chick's name?
You're wrong on 3 things, Jack.
I don't even know.
It's not the first time.
It's Elvira and from Tiny Toons.
Was it Elvira? No.
Yeah, Elmira.
Oh, Elmira. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Tiny Toons. Yeah, they'll blur together. The 90s, I was in college then.
Jesus.
What do you want from me? I'm old. The old senility's running rampant.
Gotcha.
Here, let's do something possibly positive. I don't know what to think of this. Let's. Deadpool creator Rob Liefeld reveals first look at G.I. Joe series Snake Eyes Dead Game. You heard about this?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what to think. I'm interested.
I am actually slightly optimistic on this one.
I mean, the art looks fucking sick. Like, Deadpool creator Rob Liefeld revealed the first look at his upcoming new miniseries, Snake Eyes Dead Game. Liefeld will write and illustrate the series. Look at this cover. It's like Liefeld's getting better. He's drawn hands and stuff. Still no feet, but you know.
And look at the lack of pouches.
Yeah, pouches of a size that you could actually put things in them.
Yeah.
I personally think that Rob Liefeld probably always wanted to do G.I. Joe in some caliber, right? Because I mean, if you look at all of the stuff that he drew in the 90s, he was trying to make all of his superheroes tactical, and they all had guns, and they all were like special forces, military trained, and paramilitary. I think he always wanted to do G.I. Joe, so I think this might be a perfect fit for him.
Yeah, I think it's got a lot of potential. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Because compared to a lot of the modern Marvel artists, this looks fucking badass.
Yeah.
Which is makes me sad on many levels.
He spoke to the Hollywood Reporter, shill, about the new series, comparing it to Mission Impossible. Quote, I approached it as a gigantic Mission Impossible that has been dispatched on. That he has been dispatched on. Okay. As the layers get peeled away, it makes the threat more enormous. Liefeld continues, your character is always best when they are completely over his head. And Snake Eyes finds out in the middle issue, in the middle issue 1, just how over his head he is. God damn, Rob. Oh, here's cover B.
Maybe you feel a little better at the English talk, Rob.
Feet! He drew feet!
No.
What?
Yeah.
Did he hire somebody to come in and just draw feet?
So we got a little Storm Shadow here, a little, I'm assuming Scarlet. Who's this over here?
I don't know. The picture hasn't come up yet.
Yes,
oh, okay. Is that a little masked Zartan?
10 seconds.
It's probably Firefly.
Oh, Firefly. I forgot about him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
I would
guess Firefly.
There's other Cobra ninjas that they came out with in the 90s, though, like Slice and Dice.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's just it's a transgender Jinx.
And Liefeld doesn't plan on rehashing old Joe storylines. He reveals Snake Eyes is up against some brand new villains. The story is pretty crazy. I think by issue 2, you'll see exactly what I mean in terms of, like, working with some crazy stuff here. G.I. Joe versus Cobra? Been there, done that. That's not my story. My story has brand new villains and obstacles for Snake Eyes and the Joes to overcome. And Snake Eyes is put in some pretty crazy situations, and he has to make some crazy decisions. It's really fun. Okay.
Man, Rob never left the extreme 90s, did he?
No, he did.
No.
Much like a lot of those 90s guys.
Yeah, let's check out some interior art. Oh.
Yeah, look, I'm willing to give this a shot.
Yeah, man.
Me too.
Yeah, IDW's been doing some pretty decent stuff lately, and this seems like a move in the right direction.
Yeah, I could go with this. That's interesting. All right. Let's talk about the thing that's going to kill us all. Coronavirus. Did you think your anime was safe? You are wrong.
I was going to say, well, Japan is just like right around the corner from China, so yeah.
Yeah. Coronavirus shuts down multiple anime productions and Japan's major cosplay event, Nippy Shibashi Street Festa. The anime community of Japan has begun to feel the effects of the recent
Nipponbashi.
Sure. Spread of the COVID-19 coronavirus as a series of productions and large cosplay events are announcing delays as a direct result of the disease. The first anime casualty of the coronavirus outbreak was the series A3! Season Spring and Summer, announcing the official blog post that the series would be delayed until the end of the season, and was corroborated by a similar announcement from the show's New Zealand and Australian broadcaster, Animu Lab. Due to unexpected issues with the production and process of the global current health crisis, A3! Will continue to be delayed. Our partners in Japan have let us know that the series is currently planned to resume in April. We'll continue to keep you updated as we know more. Listen, is hentai affected? That's what matters.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I probably shouldn't have mentioned hentai with all these like cool girls here.
It'll happen.
Next was Asteroid in Love, which delayed their 7th episode by a week, opting to air a recap episode in its original time slot instead. On February 17th, it was announced that the 7th episode of a certain scientific railgun, T, would be delayed, with a post on the official website specifically citing the influence of the coronavirus as the reason for the production being postponed.
Well, the upside is that Japan is a very sanitary, like clean community. They're real big on hand washing and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So hopefully it won't keep them down for too long, and we don't all go extinct from the coronavirus.
Ooh, look, hot anime girl.
Just say no to Corona-chan.
The series were most likely affected by the coronavirus by way of their animation partners in China. As the virus sweeps the country and millions are quarantined, some businesses have repeatedly shut down under various quarantines, which prevents the workers from performing any of their duties. Outside of anime series productions, Circle's concerns over the virus have also led to cancellation of one of the largest cosplay events in Japan, the Nippon Street Festa.
Look, Nippon-bashi is huge over there. So
Yeah.
this
I
is
believe
actually
it.
a big deal.
I believe it.
Yeah, Nippon-bashi. Mm-hmm.
Originally slated to be held on March 15th, a February 19th statement from the organization stated that the event had been canceled due to concerns about the spread of the new coronavirus. The organization has also confirmed that they will be offering refunds at a later date, while also searching for alternative avenues for certain events and item distributions. And there it is. Yeah, I'm digging this anime girl here with her blue stick. She's sexy. And if she's not 18, it's I didn't say that.
Hey man, every Japanese girl looks 21 until they get to be about like maybe 50, and then they look 80.
Yeah.
I love, by the way, this screen freeze that they took here with Goku in the middle of a sickness. This is great.
Oh yeah, that's when he's dying of heart disease.
Is it?
I think so.
Heart disease? What?
Yeah, that's how Goku dies.
Seriously?
Goku dies?
Yeah, at the end of Dragon Ball Z. I mean,
Spoilers.
they've retconned it. Please. They've retconned it now that he didn't die of heart disease because it wasn't Akira Toriyama that wrote that story. But you know what? Surprise, it's not Akira Toriyama who's writing the story now. So
yeah, okay, that's dumb. He should be like 80 years old if he's got heart disease. On the Streamlabs, thank you, Cryptic. No, please don't delay my hentai production. I need blocky genitals.
Look, man, we can give you some mosaic tiles. You'll be fine.
Let's
Thanks, Cryptic.
Hey, here. There it is. This is a picture Lauren Chen sent out.
Wait, what?
This is a picture Lauren Chen sent out of the theater she was watching Birds of Prey in. Look at the theater.
In
Oh
10
yeah,
seconds we will.
yeah. I remember that. That's the picture that has been going around with Goku and Vegeta, where he goes like, "Let's fight someplace where there's no one's around," and then they're fighting in the Birds of Prey theater.
Nice. Yeah, that's not surprising.
Which leads right in our
And so yeah,
next
Corey's
article.
I think confirming it. I thought it was Nami from One Piece that Holly was fawning over.
Look, all I'm saying is I'm glad I'm not in that photo. It means she didn't see me. Call me, Lauren. Call me.
Okay, Sonic the Hedgehog outgrosses Margot Robbie's Birds of Prey in just 4 days. Here's why. Well, we all know why, but let's find out the reason.
Kids' movies are more fun than whatever these frumpy, ugly chicks were doing.
Yeah, but it subverted the male gaze, Jack. Come on, that's important.
Yeah, well, nobody's making the male gaze at Pikachu or whatever here.
At Pikachu.
As much,
even I know what's wrong with that. Jesus.
as much as we all know that Jim Carrey is a lunatic
and a commie.
Yeah, he wasn't sitting there talking about how Sonic is fighting the bourgeoisie.
Yeah.
And all capitalists need not apply to see his movie. No.
And even better, they made Sonic look better for the movie. Like
Yeah,
they were
well,
like, "Oh, you didn't like that? Let's fix it."
yeah, they took feedback from the
Yeah.
fans. Yeah.
And whereas Birds of Prey uglied up the chicks as much as possible, turned Cassandra Cain into some chubby little girl instead of like a badass ninja. She's now some fat Asian.
Right. Thank you very much, Manic, for the $5. Always appreciated from you, sweetie. And she simply says, Polly. Well, Manic. And Frank, thank you very much. How long before they make hold on. How long before they make a coronavirus waiting? Also, Goku dies multiple times in DBZ. The heart virus was cured by Trunks traveling back in time to warn them about Cell and giving the cure? Is that true?
Kind of. No, he still eventually does die of it, but that's what ultimately kills Goku for good, because the reason why he dies multiple times is because he dies in battle but then is resurrected from the Dragon Balls. But when the Dragon Balls have run their course and they can't bring him back to life, because you can only bring someone back to life in Dragon Balls once, and they have multiple sets of Dragon Balls but only two. And after he comes back the second time, when he dies of heart disease for the third time, that's his permadeath. But they've completely retconned it, because they've completely retconned the entire ending of the series.
Yeah, look.
Well, thank you very much, Frank. I appreciate it. And thank you, Manic.
Goku's probably got a constitution of 20. He should be able to be resurrected many, many times. I'm sure his saving throw is pretty fucking good.
Only if you sacrifice that diamond worth 1,000 gold, though.
Whatever. He's probably got dozens of those floating around.
Well, let's talk about this Sonic the Hedgehog outgrosses Margot Robbie's male gaze averting film. Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog. Right? So, actually, Evolved Potato said, I'm still debating whether I should see Sonic this weekend or not. I've heard really good things, Evolved Potato. Like, I haven't seen it myself, but people that are Sonic fans are like, yeah, it's pretty fucking sweet. So, I mean, shit, take the chance. Like the $12 to $16. What the hell, man? Sounds like it's
go
really
see
good.
Matinee for like $10 or whatever.
Even Christian said it was okay, and he's still perturbed about him having blue arms.
That dude's weird.
Frank,
although I am tempted to buy a Sonichu t-shirt and be like, it's Sonichu!
Frank donated over on the Streamlabs. Thank you very much. And he says, waifu. See that, Quiz? He wants Sonic to be your waifu.
No, thank you.
I don't know. Frank's a good guy. I think you might have some good insight on this. You should consider it.
A buddy of mine took his kids to see Sonic. They loved it. He said it was a fun movie. He's like, yeah, it's a popcorn film. You sit there and watch with your kids, have a good time. He saw a bunch of different people in there, said the theater was pretty packed, and everybody seemed pretty happy with it. So everything I've been hearing is good, but I trust his movie judgment because he's actually like got kids and shit. Mm-hmm. So he said it's a good all ages movie. It was fun.
Wait, what? Okay. The way I interpreted what you just said there is that your determining factor about trusting someone's judgment in a movie is if they have kids.
No, I trust his judgment. Plus, he has children.
Oh,
the children liked it, and so did he.
Okay.
So he said it was a fun popcorn movie, and the kids thought it was a fun action adventure movie for kids. And so it appealed to multiple audiences, was my point. I didn't express that well. I apologize.
So, Sonic the Hedgehog destroyed its competition at the box office, including Margot Robbie's Birds of Prey. You model who happens to be able to remember lines. Serves you right. The video game adaptation outgrossed Birds of Prey in just 4 days. According to the numbers, Sonic the Hedgehog brought in a little over $70 million in the first 4 days in theaters. In contrast, Birds of Prey earned only $35.1 million in its first 4 days. Wah, wah. The film still hasn't reached the $70 million mark. As of February 18th, Birds of Prey has only grossed $63.5 million domestically.
Wow. Real quick, Polly, let me interrupt you. Thank you, Frank, for the donation. Coronavirus waifu. Thanks, Frank.
Vol Potato, thank you for the donation. Don't worry, Polly. Your favorite future hentai won't stop because of the coronavirus. No need to worry. Whew. I'm glad. Okay, thank you. I'm glad you told me that. What's a man to do without his tentacle hentai? I mean, shit. All right. The difference at the box office is glaring, especially in how the two movies treated their fans in the lead up to release, right? After Sonic the Hedgehog was roasted following the release of its first trailer, director Jeff Fowler announced that they would be redesigning Sonic and even delayed the release of the film in order to accommodate the design. Sonic the Hedgehog creator Yuji Naka even praised fans for getting Sonic redesigned. Following the release of the redesign, the new trailer, fans quickly jumped on board the Sonic train, and the box office shows rewarded them with listening to their feedback. But you listen to toxic fans. They're angry incels that are just out to destroy everything, and they're bigots. Or they're your paying customers, and you should probably pay attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
Strange thoughts, I know, but you know.
I sincerely hope that when the redesign happened and when they released the redesign, they said, there were several people that said, because they redesigned this, everyone who complained about it should go see this movie. And I'm glad to see that people kept their word, because that's encouraging the studios to actually listen to the people that they're trying to sell something to.
Yeah.
And
absolutely
that should actually be a thing.
And the original design was creepy as shit. Like, that was total nightmare fuel. But now he actually looks cool.
Yeah. He looks like Sonic.
Hold on. It says, Vol Potato's right. I did misread that. But I'm medicated. I get a pass. Don't worry, Polly. He said, your favorite Futa hentai won't stop because of the coronavirus. No need to worry. Well, Inquisitor and I, if you go back over the lore of comic book curation, have been over what is okay and not okay about Futa. We've yeah.
I'm not sure if we ever did that on comic book curation, but
I'm glad I was not part of that conversation.
No, we did. Under certain circumstances, it's gay as fuck. Under other circumstances, it's fine. Remember?
Let me grab a Streamlabs real quick. Thank you, Manic, who said, Jack. Thank you, Medic. Appreciate it.
Well, I'll say this: they've got a right to say, the studio saying, everybody who complained about a redesign should go see the movie. Yeah, that's not unfair.
Yeah.
No, it's not. And
that's
now that they redesigned it to look not like it's going to murder me in a poltergeist movie. I think they'll have a better shot of marketing toys too. Like, they can release plushies of this because he looks super cute now.
Yeah.
So, like they did with Detective Pikachu, which was a great movie, by the way. I had a lot of fun watching that. I don't even know anything.
Pikachu looked great.
I don't know anything about Pokemon, and I had fun watching it. So, I was like, I don't know what's happening here, but it was fun. And this movie looks like it has that same feel. They could put some toys out and probably make a sequel and turn it into like a trilogy or a series or whatever. So this was smart on their part. And I think everybody that did like the changes should go try and see the movie, because everybody I've talked to has had positive things to say about it. Yeah. At least the smart ones that I talked to.
Yeah. I've heard everyone saying nothing but good things about it as well. Real quick, over in the Streamlabs, Manic quiz. Thank you, Manic.
Manic is so awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The promotion, film, marketing, fun, family entertainment. However, Jim Carrey would talk about his own personal opinions about President Donald Trump while promoting the film. Yeah, he just didn't talk about that. He talked about his violent fantasies of murdering the man. Hilarious!
Oh, so funny.
In fact, Carrey would actually be lampooned for cracking jokes on talk shows. Well, the guy's a commie weirdo. What do you expect? Well, detractors might have thought this might deter audiences from Sonic the Hedgehog. It seems to have shown that Carrey was back in form, and the film would be quite humorous.
I've been requested to say Pokemon again, because apparently I say it like an old man. They're Pokemons.
I call them poker men, so whatever. Birds of Prey face similar criticism regarding the characters' redesigns and aesthetics. However, This criticism was ignored. Back in January, Matthew Kaddish criticized the character designs of Birds of Prey, stating, they removed any sex appeal these characters had to appeal to a female girl power audience instead of the core comic book male audience, he added. They literally don't know who they're making the movie for. Oh, come on. If you build it, they will come. All you got to do is make comic books movies for women and they all show up. Oh, right. No, they don't. And doesn't every woman out there want to idealize themselves as frumpy and unathletic and unpowered?
Yeah, that's why Cassandra Cain was in the movie.
Like we were talking about
they wanted to appeal to fat girls.
We were talking about Captain Britain earlier. He's basically Superman. He's this big, huge, hulking guy. I remember reading Excalibur back in the day that I didn't feel inferior. It's like, it's an idealized guy. He's supposed to be a legend of lore. Why would you want him like a big fat fuck? I don't.
Look, Polly, fat guys need heroes too. And why would they want to do sit-ups? Look, sit-ups are hard. Reaching for that bag of Doritos, not as hard. Captain Britain should be a big fatty eating fish and chips and talking about how he's fat and how he's body positive and all that.
Yeah, well, so there it all is. It's just like, and Margot Robbie, her saying, I like to avert the male gaze. Cause you've heard my opinions on this. Like, you won the genetic lottery. You're a blonde-haired, beautiful woman, symmetrical features, blue eyes. Like, you are a model, and that's how she started out, who just happened to be able to remember certain lines from a script. Not many, mind you, but she's got a coach for that kind of thing. Yeah. And now she's like an actor. I'm not saying she's an incompetent actor. No, she's passable. There's things I've seen her in that I liked, but you're hired because you're beautiful. Quit acting like you're some ugly woman that got ahead despite the patriarchy. You fucking hypocrite. And by the way, pink gloves don't go with this black dress. And what's with this fucking frilly froppy fucking thing up top? You look like a moron. Quit letting gay men and feminists dress you, lady.
Look, go ahead, Quiz.
Did you know that she did full frontal nude scenes in her early career?
No, I didn't know that.
Yes. So avert the male gaze all you want, but it won't erase your past.
Well, you mean she got ahead by the male gaze and then closed the door behind her and then said that this is wrong? Wow, that's never happened before.
Yeah, she needs to just embrace it like the classy chicks of the past used to do and say, look, I'm attractive. Give me money, piles of it. So when she gets older and she's not as attractive, she doesn't have to do Hallmark movies. She's not an ugly woman. She shouldn't try and ugly herself up. And I find it kind of disingenuous that she's trying to play these stupid fucking PC games. This movie was probably written 2 or 3 years ago when that was much more of a big deal. But look at all the woke movies and how they've flopped. Stop trying to ugly people up. Just embrace who you are. She's not bad looking. She should just do the movie as a sexy thing and move on with her fucking life.
Well,
rake in the money.
They got the authority to make it an R rating. There's no reason to not put out the sex appeal other than deliberately to antagonize. Yeah. So that's what's happening here is that they did it deliberately to antagonize their would-be audience. And you know what happens when you antagonize your audience? People don't go see your fucking movie.
Yeah, they should have learned before they did the press junkets what happened with Ghostbusters 2016. They clearly didn't get the message. So don't tell your core audience to stay home. That's a bad idea. And I lost a lot of respect for Ewan McGregor when he was talking about toxic masculinity and the male gaze and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow, dude, you are such a fucking sellout.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this movie sucks. It's terrible. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Don't waste money seeing it. It's fucking horrific.
Yep. Like Manic says, bitch, you're gorgeous. Stop whining. And it's it's like so many people say about so many things along this line. I don't have a problem with that. Nobody has a problem with that. You're a beautiful woman. You're playing beautiful characters in film. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're doing that and then saying there's something wrong with it. And that's when it gets weird.
Yeah, it's sort of like a neurotic self-loathing that attractive people have now because they're supposed to feel bad that they're attractive.
Yeah,
that's dumb.
And then
Wow.
BG says I sound like an asshole when I'm saying it, and Jack has a weird cadence when he says it. BG doesn't like nothing I say, so fuck it. I don't even know why you bother to fucking show up.
I have a weird cadence because I don't give a fuck about Pokemon.
I say Pokermen to bug Far and Zelthor, who are big fans of Pokemon. So it's just
I don't know anything about it. All I know is every time I talk about it, I piss off Zelthor, like to the point where he's like demanding Lynx to come in and yell at me.
Yeah, but that's the joke, right? You should hear him over in
that's-
Discord, man. He gets outright irate, and then he bugs me about Trek things, and that's the joke, you know.
Yeah, I don't know very much about Star Trek, but at least I've seen that.
Yeah.
And Pokemon, I have seen probably a grand total of 4 episodes. And not in that order. Like I'll see like a minute here, a minute there, and it's been over the past like 20 years. So I couldn't tell you anything about it other than they throw these little balls at people and catch them and like enslave animals to fight for them.
I've got this odd optimism coming up around this Robert Pattinson Batman movie. I don't know why. Maybe just because it's like off the wall. I wasn't expecting that. Maybe he can play a good Bruce Wayne. We'll see. But the Batman working title and main villain are allegedly leaked. The Batman.
Well, have you seen the screen test?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Not much to be able to be discerned from it, but I did see it. Yeah.
It's shit quality.
Ooh, yeah, it's shit quality, but you get to see at least what the upper torso of the suit is going to look like.
Yeah. The Batman is what we call it, but then it might not be the name that Matt Reeves' movie about the Dark Knight upon release. Online numbers and photo leaks reveal a different working title and so much more. Reeves' first slate on day 1 of filming stuck with The Batman, see below, but Robert Pattinson's chair indicates they might transition away from that. Okay. Vengeance. Huh.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.
I could see that. That doesn't seem off genre at all, does it?
Wait, no. It's called Batman Vengeance?
Or simply Vengeance? That would be an interesting take. Just call it Vengeance and you're supposed to know it's a Batman movie. The promotion will take care of that. That could be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
An unauthorized photo of Star Pattinson's chair made it onto Reddit with the word vengeance emblazoned upon it, seemingly confirming suspicions. The leaking didn't end there, as further purported plot spoilers also hit Reddit. On Twitter, DC Movie News posted a thread of screenshots showing comments by user Camera Overtime, who answered questions and kept others posted on updates on the set. Camera Overtime, allegedly the same person who snapped the picture of Pattinson's seat, starts by dishing up spoilers related to costume scene, Riddler, and how Robert Pattinson looks as Bruce Wayne. That's what I'm most interested in. What kind of Bruce Wayne? Is he going to play old, burned out Bruce Wayne, like in Batman v Superman, or a very young one, like in Batman Begins? I'm curious.
I could see him doing year 1.
Yeah.
Very similar to year 1. Also, I could have sworn, so I had to get up and look for it, and I found it real quick. Here, let me go on camera real fast.
Oh, no. Cameras.
Oh, no.
Hold on, let me move you over there if you're going on camera.
I saw that, talking about Vengeance, it immediately reminded me of something. There's already a Batman Vengeance video game.
Hold on, you're not on screen yet. Oh, yes, you are. Never mind.
Hang on, see? Batman Vengeance. And it's actually based on the animated series. So if they're going to be going off on the animated series and doing this specifically, Batman Vengeance, could actually be really good.
Well, I did hear in one of the leaks early on that it was supposed to be early in his career Batman movie.
Okay.
So
that could be pretty cool, but we'll have to see. I hope it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Ebony Williams just said, I don't know about Robert Pattinson as Batman. I hear your concern. I do. But I also thought that Ben Affleck was going to be terrible as Bruce Wayne and ended up really digging the kind of older, grizzled Frank Miller Batman that he played. So I don't know. I'm remaining strangely optimistic. I'm not sure why. I don't know.
Yeah, it said the same thing about Michael Keaton, and I thought he did a pretty good job.
Oh, yeah. Michael Keaton rocked it. Yeah, and what an odd choice, right? So, yeah.
Like You can take an off the wall actor and make them into something good if they're a good enough actor. Michael Keaton, I thought, did a great job.
Yeah.
Real quick on the Streamlabs. Thank you, Fatty057. Smile, you green blooded Vulcan. Thanks for the donation, man.
Also on the Streamlabs, Frank, Batman isn't supposed to sparkle, damn it. I don't feel like he was a good actor in that horrible vampire series. No, I agree with you, dude. I absolutely agree with you. I think that Robert Pattinson, man, it all comes down to, because who's that one kid that played Harry Potter?
Michael Ratcliffe or something like that.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Whatever.
Yeah, he was really surprising in Swiss Army Man. I mean, granted, he played a corpse, but it's weird because there's some people, I think, that when they go into their later careers, especially if they start really young, which of course Pattinson started at probably late teens, like, right? That was his first role, is when he was at a late teen. I think that it really depends on how they develop as an actor, and a lot of times they can surprise you. So I'm carefully optimistic about it, and I'll say this, Polly, you're not gonna like it, but Affleck Batman
Yeah.
was best in Suicide Squad.
Oh, that was the best part of Suicide Squad, was Affleck Batman.
That movie was fucking awful.
Yeah. Anyway, somebody, I forget, I'm scrolling through chat here. Someone said, who's the villain going to be? Riddler is the leak. The Riddler is going to be the villain.
Well,
Camera Overtime, this person over on Reddit, asserts that having seen Pattinson as Bruce Wayne, writing the star has dark brown hair and looks good as a billionaire asshole. Cool. Okay, let's see. We'll have to wait and see. I'm remaining cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
Well, we did say we were going to do a short show, and I am feeling extremely woozy, guys. I need to go lay down. So, why don't we do some pitches and get this over with? Are you guys ready to pitch?
Give me 1 second to bring up my pitch.
Same.
Oh, come on. Okay, I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay, let me just drag this over here. Capture. And shoot, Jack.
I am pitching Conan Serpent War. This is not actually a Conan book. This is a team effort. There's 3 Robert E. Howard characters and Moon Knight. So we've got Conan, Solomon Kane, and Dark Agnes, and Moon Knight. There's Khonshu hanging out the back.
Mm-hmm.
This is a surprisingly fun story. The art in issue 4 sucks ass, but it's a pretty fun book. I'm going to show you the covers here. I love this concept for this cover because Moon Knight looks awesome. I like Solomon Kane. Dark Agnes is very rarely used. She's getting a miniseries now. And Conan, a little hit and miss at Marvel lately. But this was a fun series. There's a guy named James Allison who's having like flashbacks of his previous lives. And in one of them, he played was a guy named Nuard who killed a giant serpent. It took place in Supernatural Thrillers issue 3, if I remember correctly. I reviewed it, so you can find it in my reviews. But they took that story and used it as the basis for a miniseries because Robert E. Howard wrote the original short story. And he brought together all these people. They don't really meet up until like issue 3. Otherwise, it's Conan and Dark Agnes as one team, and Solomon Kane and Moon Knight as the other team. And then they eventually meet up to fight the serpent. It's pretty fun. I was actually surprised by how much fun I had reading it because it was like just this off-the-wall story. Yeah, this art here is pretty awful. Beware my tiny hand. Obviously not the real dialogue. But like I said, the art is not that great in some of the scenes especially with Conan, but Moon Knight looks really awesome because you could tell Finch inspired the artist. But the storyline is a lot of fun. They're just out fighting these cultists and the serpent. It's just a good solid action adventure as far as the story goes. Like I said, the art's a little rough on the first 3 issues. Issue 4 is fucking trash, but the story, in my opinion, was worth reading because I thought it was a lot of fun and it had a cool concept of bringing all these guys together. And we even get to see Khonshu a little bit. And if you like Moon Knight, I think you'll like this because I think he's actually a little more important to the story than Conan is. But the Conan name's what sells it. So I know you were reading Conan or Moon Knight, Polly, for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you might enjoy this a little bit, especially the first, like issue 2. Moon Knight does some crazy shit. And Solomon Kane's like, "You're insane."
Well, yes, he is.
Yeah. There was no denials. But yeah, I mean, look at the way his face is concealed there. I thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks pretty cool through the entire thing. So I love this shot here because this is juxtaposed to on the other page is the one with Conan with the tiny hand. And these two are talking. I just love the way Moon Knight looks here. So yeah, that's my pitch. It's a fun little miniseries. It's not going to be particularly valuable or anything, but you should be able to find it in the discount bin for $1 or $2 each, and I think it's worth that. Just because it was a pretty cool little story. Like I said, the art's pretty rough, but if you just read it for the story elements, I think you guys would enjoy it.
I'm going to read it. Sounds awesome. I mean, I love Solomon Kane, and I love me some Moon Knight, so fuck yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, it's got the 3 Robert E. Howard characters in Moon Knight. I thought that was a cool team because it's kind of really oddball, and Moon Knight actually fits in with these guys because they're dealing with like mysticism and elder gods and stuff like that. So pretty fun miniseries with some. I like this cover a lot. That could make a really cool poster. So that's my pitch. Conan Serpent War.
Sweet. All right, Quiz, would you like to go next or shall I? Quiz? All right, I'm going to go next. My pitch is...
I somehow got muted on the Hangouts. Sorry.
It's all right. Just give it a second. You can go right away. So I'm doing Excalibur number 61. I've been reading Excalibur up until now. And like I told Quiz, I'm going to go back and read Rachel Summers' introduction into X-Men, like originally back in the 70s, I'm guessing. Mm-hmm. This comic is the accumulation of a long running up storyline where Rachel Summers is the avatar for the Phoenix Force. Finally returned. She'd been comatose for a while. There's one main reason this is awesome. You learn a lot about her lore through exposition, like how she has a Phoenix Force, why she has a Phoenix Force, why the Phoenix Force has an affinity for her particularly and wants to be bonded with her. She goes out into space just to sort of contemplate things after regaining consciousness from her coma. And there's a planet being destroyed. What the hell's going on? Why, it's Galactus. Oh, Galactus, the devourer of worlds. And does Phoenix take on Galactus in a one-on-one fight to see who's going to win? Why, yes. Yes, she does. Why? Because Rachel Summers is a fucking badass. That's why. The story's fucking great. The back and forth that they give where she's like, as a possessor of the Phoenix Force, this elemental force of the universe, I have every moral right to fight against you. I don't care that you, Galactus, think you're a force of nature. I possess a force of nature. And a lot of deep cosmic Marvel lore goes back and forth between them, and as they beef it out. And then here's what's going on back on Earth with regular Excalibur. And then back to the fight. My God. So, I mean, what more can you ask for a comic? It's deep with lore. Explains a whole lot of background material. You don't really need to read the issues that led up to why she was in a coma. The whole point is that she's come out of it and is trying to rediscover herself and be comfortable with being herself again, and ends up taking on, of all things, Galactus, the devourer of worlds. And you, like I said, you learn all of this lore, and it's a great issue. I really dug it. It was the last one I read. So yeah, that's my pitch, is Excalibur number 61, Phoenix Returns.
The art in it is fantastic.
Yeah,
I do love it.
Yeah, that does look awesome.
And it mostly because it's all Alan fucking Davis. Who
yeah, man, that's why I pitched Tarot last time.
Yeah. Alan Davis is
awesome.
the man. Like he's a legend, but not a lot of people seem to like really. He's not a go-to referenceable guy, and that's sad because his art is just fucking amazing. And he's co-creator of Excalibur, and he not just drew this issue, he also wrote it. And so it's Alan Davis. So by all means, Excalibur number 61, it rocks.
Gotcha. That is pretty good. Not gonna lie. All right. So my pitch is written by Mike Grell, art by Gray Morrow.
Trying to bring up your quiz. Give me a second.
Oh, sorry.
No. I just there. Okay, go ahead. Shoot.
Okay. And my pitch is where's the window there? Is it not? It's not going to show. God damn it! Hold on. I have to share the whole goddamn screen. Is Green Arrow, the Wonder Year. This is the Mike Grell telling of Green Arrow's origin story. And it's a wash with how Oliver eventually goes over the side of the boat and is a castaway, and how he gets back to Seattle and eventually takes up the guise of Green Arrow because he's fighting corruption in mayoral politics. And it turns out to be a really long and very noir type femme fatale story later on with the mayor's aide and whistleblowers and corruption and crime. It ends up being a fairly interesting story, and of course this is the 1970s telling of Green Arrow's origin. It's a 4-issue series, and it's collected in a trade paperback. And just look at this art; it's fantastic. This
really
is old
great.
school pencils. It's just it's amazing. It's you don't get art like this anymore, and it's one of my favorite Green Arrow stories. So,
Green Arrow, cool. All right, so there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for stopping by. As always, thank you everybody for the donations. They are extremely helpful. Helps to keep the show running and all of that good stuff. If you're listening in the future, please do like or if you're listening in the future, please do comment. Oh yeah, also hit the like button. You can do that too. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, what you'd like to see in the future. Merch is on its way, not just for Noir Bar, but I'm also thinking about doing some comic book curation stuff. As soon as I get that set up, I will let you guys know on Twitter. All of our links for Twitter and everything else are in the description below, so you can find them there. I apologize for being out of sorts this week, but hey, IRL stuff took over, and yeah, not feeling my best this week, but hopefully I'll be back to it. In the meantime, Jack, thank you for joining me and co-hosting as always. And Quiz, same to you. You guys are awesome. It's always a good time talking with you, gentlemen.
Thanks for the donations, guys, and be sure and like, share, and subscribe to Polly's channel and Quiz's and mine, of course.
Yes.
All right, have a good weekend. Yeah, it's close enough to the week. Yeah, fuck it. Have a good weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you again. Have a good night.
Bye.